Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh, you're going in the garbage, Windows 10. Come on. Work, you stupid piece of fucking shit. A don't do it, B don't do it, so what do it? You know what? Fuck you, Windows 10. I reinstalled you for the 10th time in a fucking row, and you still don't work. What the fuck is the problem here? What are SG trails? What the fuck is, like, System32 not being there? Like, fucking A. Do I need to switch over to Linux? I will fucking do it. I will fucking switch over to Linux if I had to. At least, that's what I would have said. Hey, what's going on, everybody? TujoPanda back in action. Talk about something else today. By something else, it's going to be my return to the channel because I finally managed to fix my computer into a relative state of workability because, I don't know, like, obviously I've been out of commission for the better part of the week. There's been plenty of goings-ons that have happened the past few days that I would kind of like jump at the opportunity to talk about. Just poke my nose into it, figure it out, maybe talk about it, but I haven't had the chance to do that. It's almost like sitting on an island seeing all this activity out in the ocean. You know it's there, but you can't really do much about it because you're stuck on your little island. The best you can do is send out a message in a bottle. But anyway, I guess I'll just spend a couple minutes to tell you what the problem was. Alright, because my computer is actually a pretty powerful machine. Still got a 1080 GTI Strix in there as far as like the GPU, but everything else, it's pretty much what you'd expect. All encased in a water-cooled case that, you know, is like the proud obsidian tower built by the proud gnomes of Middle-earth. Then I found out that no, like, gnomes weren't in Middle-earth to begin with, so Tolkien lied to me. But that's not the important fact here. What is the fact that, like, I had something called a boot error, like GPT header corruption. It basically affected the partitions that would dictate how the machine would, like, you know, boot up every time that I would turn it on. And I have multiple theories about what the possible problem is, but what it would do is every time after, like, Wednesday night when I would turn on the machine, it would send me right to the BIOS screen. And the BIOS screen, it basically tells the computer what settings that you'd like this machine to, like, function in or boot up into when it loads Windows 10. Windows 10 would not load up, even though the hard drive that was the boot drive was definitely there in the BIOS. I would tell the BIOS, hey, I want you to boot from this drive. And sometimes it would act like the drive wasn't even there, depending on the settings I set. UEFI, I forget what the acronym stands for, but that's obviously like the setting that you want to pick. Sometimes it was available, most times it wasn't. I did try the Microsoft, like, you know, USB recovery toolkit, did not work, did not function. I tried several times to repair the disk from that, would not work. It would just basically say, sorry buddy, but it ain't happening. We can't figure out the problem. You might as well just reset the machine. So after playing around with the command prompt, I would actually try it to, like, tell it to check the disk, scan now, fix the boot, like, you know, the boot order sequencing and all that stuff. I have never had a computer tell me access is denied, like just telling it to fix the boot. Like, fix the boot, like, you know, series of events, you know, it just says access is denied. And it's, like, crazy because I'm the administrator. I'm the only one using this machine, okay? And for the machine to tell me access is denied, like, I just, like, and I try to find a workaround for that. Wasn't happening. So when all else failed, I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to crack this fucker open. I'm going to take out the hard drive. I'm going to port out anything that I think is important, which I did to an external because I have, you know, cloud storage space available, like, for my personal use, as well as various external hard drives as a physical copy to port files to if I have to. And so I did. And you know what? I have to say, it fucking sucks. It's fucking highly disruptive having to reinstall Windows 10 every time something goes bad. But, like, for whatever reason, on this PC build of mine, it's been, like, the same problem happened 9 months ago. And it took me an entire month to figure out the process because I just could not reinstall Windows 10. I fixed the problem by reinstalling Windows 10 because I gave up at the end. I was just like, it's not worth me wasting all this time trying to revive this machine from nothing. And this problem, how did this problem begin? I have no idea. Windows 10, like, it's on the surface, it seems like a perfectly functional operating system, but there's little bugs and things that happen along the way, and it's like recommended. Like, some people recommend that you reinstall it, every 6 months just to keep it going. I think that's bullshit, You shouldn't have to reinstall the fucking operating system every couple of months because, of reasons. Granted, Microsoft kind of sucks as far as backwards compatibility and stuff like that, so I don't know. I'm not a computer genius. Everything that I learned, that I taught myself, like playing with the command prompt, I had to formulate my own little cheat sheet on how to do certain things. And I asked all my friends, some of my friends had this very same problem happen to them. Granted, when the problem would happen to them, that was usually about the time for an upgrade. Like, they would look at their machine, look at the problems that had accumulated up to this point. It's like a car that, had like a fucking potato shoved in the tailpipe. Its engine, like the transmission fluid has been reduced to fucking chocolate pudding. And like everything is just not good with this car. You just buy a new one. Or more accurately, you buy a used one that is in functional order rather than going to the fucking dealership that are going to rip you off 9 ways to Sunday and get a new car. Unless you're rich. Like, if you have money to spend, you can like make that car payment every month. Then you buy a new car. But most people, they buy a used car. One that they can buy from an allegedly, reliable source, and they call it a day. Me, I don't have that luxury. However, the last time that this happened, I decided to bite the bullet, and I bought a, cheap, throw-me-down backup PC. One that was new in the box, was pre-built, has a 2070 Super in it versus the 1080. 2070 Super is supposed to be allegedly better, at least, the one they had. No, the backup PC is okay. It's not great. Like, this is the main computer that I want to work off of everything that I got on. But the backup PC, at least it gave me some functionality and the ability to clone the drive. Tried cloning the drive. Clone did not work. I could not get it to boot from the, clone drive. So I just wiped it. I used that as the new drive because it's an 860 versus an 850 that I had been using before. And people were saying maybe it's the SSD going up. No, it wasn't the SSD going up because even the new hard drive wasn't functioning correctly for the longest time. And every time I tried to reinstall Windows 10, it would just keep going. It would go to that point where it's like, okay, we need to restart now. And it would restart, go right back to the BIOS screen. And it wasn't the CMOS battery. It wasn't the BIOS that was changing every time I turned it off the machine. It was something else. Some arbitrary issue is underlying in this fucking machine that's preventing me from having a functional PC that is going to be reliable and there for me when I need it. Which is honestly kind of sucky because, you never know how long it's going to last. I don't know how long it's going to last this time around. I was getting ready to transition to the backup PC just as a last resort. But thankfully, this one pulled through. I forced Windows 10 to install after the 12th, 13th time, and it installed. I created several, every day, at the end of the day, I created a restore point. I try to back up all my files. I try to do everything that I can to keep everything neat and clean where it needs to be, so that if I have to pick up and go, I can go. But I am just at my wit's end. After several days of playing with a machine that just kept going back to the BIOS screen. I know that's putting wear and tear on the internal components that build this machine. All the, the graphics card, the CPU, the fucking RAM, all that, and the fans especially, which I still need to dust out, just, being transparent about that. Truly, you don't know what you got until it's gone. And I feel like I am truly blessed to have this machine. For as much problems as it's brought me for the past several days, including the month, like 9 months back. But this is the machine that I want to use. This is the machine I want to put a 3090 into if I can ever afford one. Because right now I think 3090s are going for like $3,000. No thank you. A couple of my friends got lucky. They got like, you know, one for like $1,000. One lucky bastard. Who, if you're watching this video, I'm sure that you, from the bottom of my balls, fuck you. Nah, kid. But anyway. No, but seriously though, you just don't know what you got until it's gone. And this is my one bastion of hope, alright? This is where I generate all my content. I draw art on this. I fucking write scripts on this. I fucking make videos on this. Everything, like entertainment value, it's all in this machine. And I hate to be that guy, say that I'm kind of a technophile. I like to have good technology around me and be able to use it to its fullest capacity. Which, obviously, I haven't, because if I have, a lot of these videos would probably be a lot more, like, you know, dynamic and crazy and wild, but, you know, that also takes time, effort, and inspiration. But no, I'm just fortunate to have a PC that's worth a damn, that I really like, that I want to keep alive. And why I mention that, one of my friends, he had a PC that we just kind of nicknamed the PC of Death. He had upgraded it so often, so much over the years, that it had since outgrown its PC case. It was just an amorphous mass of cables, components, and shit on a table. And you could just hear the thing struggling to survive. It was like the fan was like choking. It was like a man that had been smoking all of his life, 90 years old now, and just be like, and like, you know, you could just hear that this thing was struggling to survive. But eventually, thankfully, he retired that machine. But the memory keeps in mind. There was even a PC that somebody that I used to know in DeviantArt, they took one of those heavy-duty suitcases that you see toolkits put into, and they ripped out everything. They put PC components in sort of like a tray bed, like on the bottom portion, with a keyboard on top. And the screen was on the very top portion. And like it was sort of like a 1970s throwback spy-inspired like laptop case in like a briefcase. It was kind of cool, but at the same time, it looked highly not very practical unless you're going to LAN parties a lot. In which case, that would be like bragging rights right there. Have like a fully decked out. And by the way, it wasn't like laptop parts. These were actual desktop parts that were put into this thing. So, you know, the fans were on like all four corners, and there was all a bunch of internal components here. Me personally, I would have like reinforced that with like steel girders and stuff like that inside to like keep them affixed to where you need them to go. But yeah, I don't know. Like this machine looked like a beast of a machine. It was pretty cray-cray. And other than that, I hope it got some use. Now, there are pictures online. Like, I saved a couple because, you know, it definitely turned on. It definitely functioned like a PC. But at the same time, you know, I don't know how powerful it was. I don't know what its, like, capabilities were. I don't think it would be a replacement for something like, you know, a mainstay computer. But other than that, it was a pretty beastly looking machine. Like, they were also... What's interesting is they got noticed, like, later because it was alleged that they had made a Sally Acorn doll. If you know who Sally Acorn is, Sally Acorn was a character from Sonic Side AM, which was a cartoon show that I was just a little bit too young to truly appreciate at the time. Like, I saw it when it was, like, on its last legs. Like, it was just about to be off of Deke, or whatever that children's, like, you know, TV show was when I was a kid. But yeah, like, they got wrapped up in the controversy because they would put, like, actual... It wasn't, like, real bones. They were made out of wood. But, like, the internet saw this, and they thought, oh my god, you're putting, like, bones inside of a fursuit, like, doll. Ah! And then it turned out, nope, it was just wood bones. But they were a pretty interesting dude. I don't remember how I met them or, like, how we got to talking, but... We were both furries. We both liked art. We both liked Sally Acorn. At least I did at the time. She's alright. She's nothing like, you know, Crystal or Renamon, but, you know, she's still alright. She was good in this TV show. It's just that, like, obviously time has a strange sense of causing you to drift away from people, which is truly unfortunate. I've known a lot of good people over the years. They were what I would call an eccentric, like, very dedicated to their craft. And I remember that they complained about their girlfriend not appreciating the fact that they had a certain desire to, like, make things with their hands. And that was like a bone of contention because she would just like cause all these problems. Well, not problems like, fucking up their life, but like drama. And that's the worst thing in the world. Having relationship drama, like constantly in your face, anything that you try to do. So, I don't know. Anyway, too off topic. Wheeling it back to the machine though. I've had this fucker for like 3 to 4 years now. And if you're wondering how I got to this point, it was years ago when I was at one of my, like, in-between jobs. Every paycheck I got, I would set a couple $100s aside and buy a component. And my theory was that if I buy the right components when they're on sale, like at a good bargain, usually off of Amazon, but occasionally off of Newegg and stuff like that, then at the end of it, I would have a fully fledged computer to look to for like my reliability, anything that I needed happening. I had no idea what I was going to use this machine for. Gaming, obviously, but like what other, opportunities would present itself, because up to that point, I'd use a lot of laptops because historically laptops were preferable to desktops because I'd be at college all the time. The problem is laptops are notorious for being unreliable after so long, and they're obviously not that powerful. A desktop, you can upgrade and make it powerful, but laptops, you're kind of limited as far as your options go, unless you're a true computer genius. So, obviously the GPU being most important, I think I spent, money on that first. Almost like a lot of money on a 1080 at the time, which I don't remember how much it was, but it was a pretty hefty price. From there, I got a case, I got the motherboard, I got the processor, I got the RAM, I got, all little peripherals like to add inside of there. I got specialized fans to keep it cool, apart from the liquid cooling that would like help the CPU. Yeah, I was good to go. And for transparency's sake, my friend up in Baltimore, his husband was good at building machines because he built his at the time boyfriend, later husband's machine. He built mine for a case of beer. I owe the guy a lot. I'll try to repay him back sometime. But that's just my admission to you on how it came to be. Whatever repairs had to be done after the fact, I have taken it apart to try my best to clean it out and to figure out the problem when the problem first began 9 months ago. I found out that was a futile effort because it's definitely a software issue rather than a hardware issue, although it could be exacerbated by, hardware issues. I had a bad habit of leaving external hard drives plugged into the machine. I would shut it off, turn it back on, shut it off, and I feel like the problem didn't really present itself until after so long of having those external drives plugged in, consistently shutting it off, turning it back on, shutting it off, that it happened. Like, it just wouldn't boot correctly. And the D drive would show up, the storage drive where I keep all my games and stuff. The external hard drives would show up, but the main boot drive would not show up. And, I had many quick fixes that I got it to boot into Windows eventually, but then Windows run into a problem where if I turn on VR chat, the whole fucking machine would just restart. Yeah. It was pretty bothersome. I was paranoid, anxiety-ridden. I didn't know what would happen with the machine, if I could do anything without it shutting down for no fucking reason at all. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't overheating at the time, but I might just apply some thermal paste to that CPU just to make sure. Or maybe I'll open a little, hibachi grill inside the machine for the rodents in the house to partake in, because I've seen pictures of CPUs that get just so hot enough that they put a slab of meat on there to signify how hot it actually gets. You can cook fucking food off of it. Damn. Maybe that's what the mice are doing right now inside of my machine. Maybe there's a little diner in there where every time the computer heats up, that's what they're doing in there. And I haven't found any mice droppings yet. I was about to say rice droppings. Mice droppings yet. But if it does happen, we'll know. Anyway, other than that, no, my plan now is that I want to get a full Thermal Lake, like, massive PC case, alright? Something that's big enough that, like, you know, however big the components are that you're going to put into it, it's going to be alright. And I'm going to dub this the Golden Throne. It's going to have the top tier, the best fucking components like money can buy, like all packed into that one dense brick. I'll probably put it into another room and try to use extension cables to bring it into here, so I don't have to hear the fans kicking off. Although if I get it water cooled, maybe that'll be a better option. And I'll dub it the Golden Throne. I will even handcraft a little figurine of the God Emperor himself from Warhammer 40k, put him inside there, and get a bunch of Space Marine, like, you know, figurines to defend his ass. You know, protect his ass from the fucking viruses that are probably going to come. Yeah, I think it's great. You know, I'll even spray paint the fucking case gold. The Golden Throne. You know, worship the Golden Throne. All hail the God Emperor. Nah, anyway. When I get that amount of money, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Because you'll know that I'll have a bang-ass PC that I could probably generate better content on and enjoy much better experiences on. But for the moment, I'm content, happy with what I have. The proud obsidian tower from Middle-earth. But no, it's like this whole video, I hope I haven't been rambling too much here, but it is great to fucking be back. And by great to be fucking back, we got a lot of work to do because there's a lot of content that I have to sort of work on. And there's a lot of topics of interest I need to discuss with you all. So how about we put this on rest and I'm just going to go back to recording stuff and we're going to meet, you know, in the next video. And we'll get to talk about various cringeworthy topics because, as I mentioned, some things were happening while I was out. It's only been fucking 5 days, like Wednesday to Saturday. I missed the better part of Ferality, which is an online VR chat convention, because of the this computer issue. You know, I was hoping to go. I was hoping to get like a good promo video going. I was hoping to enjoy it to its fullest. My grand plan was working on my costume Wednesday in Substance Painter, and then by Thursday I'd have a finalized model that I'd be content and satisfied with. Any like kinks in the problems, I could probably reach out to a few friends that are more knowledgeable on Substance Painter to help me out. And by Friday, everything would be good to go. I'd be able to get off of work, take a nap, go into VR chat, enjoy the rest of my night, like, you know, enjoying my time, hanging out with people, and that'd be my night. Didn't end up that way. I got to enjoy just a couple of hours late Saturday night when I got Steam VR set up again, VR chat reinstalled. It actually had the audacity to send me to fucking tutorial level because it thought I reinstalled the game, which I didn't. The cool thing about it is if you ever have to reformat, delete, reinstall Windows 10, if you save your games in a location other than the C drive, like your main boot drive location, because, you know, presumably it's only going to be a 500 gigs or something like that, not a lot to play with. SteamVR, to my shock, will recognize where games are, and previously installed games, it'll load it right back up. The problem is the save state is usually saved in your profile where it says like users. Usually games, when you install them, they will like save states on documents or some shit like that. You know, be labeled, like plainly labeled, but you know, your save state might go away, but at least your games will be preserved so you don't have to spend hours upon hours reinstalling them through Steam. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you all in this long, drawn-out tirade that I'm back, we're here, we're going to continue making videos, and we're going to continue to interact. But in the face of Windows 10, like, failing on me, I'd like to propose a political party. No, we're not going to solve world debt or world hunger or, like, you know, the job prospects. We're not going to solve actual issues. We're going to be a single-issue political party. And you know what I'm going to dub it? I'm going to dub it the Fuck Windows 10 Party. Alright? And we're going to demand that Microsoft comes up with a better fucking operating system that is free of bugs and is functional for use by all, and that we're going to hold them to a higher standard than we have been. Also, if that doesn't work, we're going to start the I was thinking about the acronym in my head. What acronym would be good for this? The L-A... I guess it's going to be the LAN party. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to start the fucking Linux all or nothing party. Alright? That's what we're going to do. Like, we're going to force everybody to switch over to Linux. We're going to rebuild everything so that games actually function on Linux from now on. And everything will be using this Alienware state operating system. And it's going to work. It's going to be great. It'd be terrible because I have no idea how to use Linux. But anyway, after ranting and raving for close to probably 30 minutes, I'm just going to go ahead and say, it's great to be back. I hope you all miss me. Anyway, till next time, guys, take care and peace. I hope you all have a better one. Hey fellas, thanks for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Would you care to hit that like button and subscribe for more? I'd greatly appreciate it.